Look at this. Look at this face. So, I'm gonna try this. Because I want to. And I've been wanting to do this for years. So, we're gonna do this. Hi. Should I, like, tell you my name? It's Heather. Oh. So we're gonna start off right off the bat. Right out the gate. We're gonna get real close, personal. Do you see this bat in the cave? That's what kind of life I lead. Well, yeah. Did I get it? I guess so. Hey, third eye blind. Yeah, so, my name's Heather. And I love doing my makeup. I think that it really helps. I didn't realize it before. But it helps me with my anxiety, and I'm like, no, I'm not putting makeup on today. Like, I want to be a bum. I'm not even going to brush my hair, obviously. But then I sit down and I turn my mirror on and I'm like, just like put lotion on your face. Moisturize. Girl, moisturize. And then I'm like, well, then, like, why don't I just spray a little rose water on my face? Like, hydrate your face, girl. And then I'm like, I mean, some, like, primer probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I have really red skin all the time. It gets worse if I'm hot, if I'm frustrated, if I'm mad, if I'm sad, if I've had a sip of alcohol or anything, you know, warmer than ice water. I used to really hate it, and I'm learning to embrace the skin that I have. I mean, I'm not going to do anything about it. I can't change it. I can't change what skin I have, so I guess I'm just going to try my best to accept me, flaws and all, for me. Ignore that, whatever's going on back there, because it's a hot mess. Just like me. So, hold on a second. Look, it's like a completely different person. Like, can you even tell that it's me still? You can't. You can't at all. So, I'm bored. I'm blind. Can't really see everything that I'm doing because I don't have my glasses on. And your girl's blind. I need contacts. That's what I need. I need contacts in my life. I guess I'm just gonna try doing my makeup. What's the worst that could happen? Huh? My drawers are stuck and they won't let my makeup come out. Oh, I got it. Don't worry. Don't worry, guys. Look. So I'm pretty budget friendly. I'm not gonna spend an arm and a leg on stuff that I'm gonna wear for a couple hours and then wash off my face. Or not wash off my face and I'm gonna go to sleep with it on, because let's be real, I don't take care of my skin like I should. I'm really trying. Anyway, it's probably the only thing that I don't get cheap with. It's a replenishing, excuse me. Oh yeah, by the way, I burp a lot, so Get used to it. Anyway, it's from Too Faced, right? Because y'all can read. It's called Hangover RX. It's a replenishing face primer. It's got coconut water in it. And it's amazeballs. It legit works. So well. I have super dry skin, like super. It doesn't look like it right now because this fancy mirror I have behind my phone. Too much cold brew today. Anyway, this fancy mirror that's behind my phone, is making me look super shiny. I usually have fairly dry skin, like wintertime, I'm like flaking off my skin. So I try to stay away from anything that's matte, just because it's gonna gather in any place that, any dry patches, any dry skin, and I am the definition of cake face then. So I stay away from matte foundation. Right now, I take it back. Not right now. If I'm doing like a full face of makeup, this is what I'm using. CoverGirl Outlast All Day. Right? Not matte. But summertime, like stupid hot. So I get Ipsy in my Ipsy bag. I got this, which is a BC. Foundation was a BB cream and BC. What the hell does BC mean? I don't even know, but it says full coverage foundation, but it's pretty sheer. It doesn't go on like a regular foundation. I also mix this with a primer or my Hangover RX or whatever it is, just to make it a little more sheer. Honest to God, I'm 30 years old and I don't have terrible skin. It's okay. But what I'm going for is to cover up the redness as much as I can, especially in the summertime, because I'm going to step outside and my face is going to get beet red. And then what the fuck was the point of doing a full face of makeup? Because at that point, I don't see a point. At that point, I don't see a point. Count how many times I can say that word. I bet it's a lot. It's running. So yeah, so I mix it with, so I did put a little more of the Hangover RX, and then I'm gonna use a little bit of Tarte base tape, and we'll see how that works today. I don't know for sure what's gonna happen, but we'll see. And you guys are gonna witness it at the same time as me, right? I've been trying to pull my balls out of my body. I'm not really a dude, but metaphorical balls out of my body for years, and just fucking do it. Just do it. Just hit the record button. What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're not gonna like the video and you're not gonna post it anywhere. Cool. At least then you can say that you tried, right? And a lot of things have changed with me in the past several years. I was in a really bad marriage. High school sweethearts. Met when we were 17. Got married when we were 20. Had a baby when we were 19. He joined the military. Moved to California. Did the deployment thing. And not that this is a regular thing, but in my case, and I know from personal experience in a lot of women's cases and men's cases. When you do the deployment thing, the cheating thing follows, right? So the deployment started a very long line of the cheating thing. And I am from a whole family. My parents actually just celebrated 29 years of marriage. And so I didn't grow up in two separate families. I didn't grow up with my parents being divorced, and I was one of very few. I was very lucky and blessed. And so when that happened, I was like, no. I was naive. I was young. I didn't want to be a statistic. I wanted my family. I wanted my child to grow up the same way I did. Where it's not toxic to have healthy arguments. It's not a toxic thing for your parents to go through different phases of life and different stages. And they're still human beings, and they're still trying to figure out themselves while raising little freaking humans. So I decided, there's nothing wrong with the fact that my parents are still together and occasionally they fight, It wasn't nasty, and at the end of the day, they lived harder than they fought. And so I thought that because I was raised like that, I had all the knowledge in the world. I could do it. I can be stronger than this. I can overcome this, right? And I'm going to do it for my kid. Because he deserves that, right? He deserves his family together. And I'm going to stick it out, and I'm going to fight, and I'm going to work, and I'm going to make this better. Your girl needs to pluck her eyebrows. I'm not even going to lie to you. So I basically proceeded to do that. Fake it till I make it, right? I'm the queen of okay. I'm the queen of I'm fine. I'm the queen of I'll figure it out. Because what's your alternative? That you fail? It wasn't an option. So I pretended that everything was fine for, well, let's see. I don't know, 7, 8 years. Back and forth. Separating. Talking about divorce. Sleeping with other people. When we were high school sweethearts, and that meant everything. So trying out different things. Coming back together. I had actually gained a lot of weight. At my heaviest, I was 323 pounds. And we separated the first time, and I lost like 70 pounds, and I was feeling great about myself, and I was like, yes, girl, you're gonna do this. You don't need no man, you're an independent woman. And then, oh, my light on my mirror went off. And then, like young girls do, they get talked back into things, right? Oh, baby, I'll never do it again. It didn't mean anything. I was thinking about you the whole time, and yada, yada, yada. I want my family just as bad as you do. I promise I love you more than anything. Well, that's all I needed to hear, right? 'Cause that's all anybody wants to hear ever. I need you. I want you. You're my everything. Fucking gag me. But I was naive and I wanted my family. To be honest with you, I don't even know what I was starting to talk about originally. And the fact that it went to this so quick means that I've grown so much. I'm not petty. So I decided, you know what? Why don't you just get back with the motherfucker that cheated on you? Girl, you deserve it. I didn't know my worth. At all. And I didn't know that I deserved more. And I thought that I wasn't going to get anybody else because I was damaged goods. I was carrying around baggage, and I had a child with someone else, and all of these things. And I was fat, and I hated myself. So, like a fucking dumbass, I got back together with him. Lost 70 pounds in the process before I got back together with him. Then got back, and guess what happened? I'll wait. Yeah, I got pregnant. Baby number 2 on the way. So that's a sticky situation, and if anybody's ever been in that situation, so like, oh, cheated, oh, we're broken up, oh, we're back together, oh, surprise, we're having another baby. Like, how fucking hard is that to tell your family? By the way, the person that you hate because of the way that they treated me, they're back in my life, right? Oh, and let's sprinkle some more. Yeah, I'm gonna have another baby with him. Yeah, I know. It's a bad idea. We talked it over. Everything's fine. He'll never do it again. Yeah. We didn't even stay together the whole time I was pregnant with my second kid. Because, shocker, dipping his dick in other people was more important. And I'm not, whatever. I'm not bad about it anymore. But, it was, so, anyway. 9 months, pregnancy, blah, blah, blah. Oh, hey, baby. Right? The most perfect thing in the world, by the way. I love my kids. They are the most caring, smart-ass, annoying, beautiful little fuckers I've ever met in my life. Seriously. I know, you're not supposed to talk about your kids like that, whatever. I would die for them. And I almost did. But, so, had my second baby, tried the whole let's be together thing again, right? Well, let's not raise your eyebrow while you're doing your eyebrows, dumbass. By the way, I'm doing my eyebrows on eyebrows that haven't been plucked in like 2 months. So, we're gonna go with it. Don't fucking judge me. We actually stayed together for about 2.5 years. 3 years? Yeah, maybe right around 3 years, actually. And then one day, side note, I've watched my girls on YouTube, Jaclyn Hill and all these girls, and I'm like, why do they like step away from the camera? Or I'm gonna do my eyebrows and then I'll be back to film. I'm like, you can't do your eyebrows while you're talking. Turns out you can't, or if you can, you're a fucking magician and you tell me your secrets. So I did my eyebrows real quick. Anyway, so one day I was like, you know what? Why am I doing this? Why am I allowing someone to take everything from me? It's not not materialistic, but I completely lost who I was. I turned into this stay-at-home mom that stayed in bed and was a... I don't even know that I would consider myself a stay-at-home mom. Like, I stayed at home, and yes, technically I'm a mother, but I ate myself to almost death, gave myself diabetes, and didn't take care of me, didn't take care of the house, didn't really take care of my kids. I mean, basic needs, you know, I made sure that they weren't starving to death, and I didn't lock them in a cage, but really, was I doing everything I could have for them? Absolutely not. And it's because I was so fucking miserable in my own life, and I'm like, why are you allowing someone who has shown you years and years and years, over and over and over and over and over again, that they don't care about you? They keep you down. They keep you here. They make sure you're fed, but basically you're locked in a cage. How are you going to take care of other people? How are you taking care of your children? How are you giving them everything that they deserve if this is how you're living your life? You're basically telling them a lie, because you're not doing everything you can for them at this point. You're surviving. That's it. And you're telling yourself that everything's fine. Everything's going to be great. Eventually, one day, he's going to realize just how great you are. And then I'm like, but are you? I know. I'm a fantastic fucking human being. I really am. At that point, I wasn't. I was awful. It was awful to my children. It was awful to my husband, who, I mean, was really awful to me, but that's besides the point. And I was horrible to myself. And I needed an out. I needed someone from the outside to tell me that I wasn't crazy. To tell me that eventually, through hard fucking work and dedication, I'm gonna be okay. It's not gonna come easy. It's not some snap your fingers and it's a fucking miracle and all of a sudden you're saved, right? Like Jesus. It's gonna take some real fucking work. You're gonna have to dig down. You're gonna have to figure out who the fuck you are. But if you're willing and able, I'm here. And I was like, okay, yeah. Because that's really all I've been waiting for. I was so lost, and I had no fucking idea who I was, that I needed somebody else to tell me, you're gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna figure this out. Let's do it. And I was like, yeah. Yep, I'm ready. Let's fucking do it. And I packed my stuff, and I packed my kids' stuff, and I left. And that was, what is this, June? In August, that is 3 years. 3 years since I decided that I deserved more, that my children deserved more than what I was giving myself and what he could give me, because he couldn't give me anything. And I spent, 10 years of my life trying to fill... I was pouring from my watering can, right? And it wasn't very full. It was fairly empty. And I was pouring into a vase that was full of holes, because that's the kind of person he is. He's never going to be full. He's never going to be satisfied. And no matter what, he's always going to be looking for more. And I thought if I just poured enough, even if that meant emptying myself, that he would be happy. And I had to realize that people like that can't be. At least not from other people. It's something they have to do on their own. And it's not my responsibility to do that for him. So I left. And I was a stay-at-home mom for 8 years. So I went back to work, and I had like, I think at one point I had like 4 jobs, legit. I had 4 different jobs. And I made it work. I moved. I changed schools for my oldest. I put my youngest in. Can we just talk about what I just found on my desk? Because my hair is so freaking knotty all the time. I remember brushing my hair the other night, sitting here, and I was like, oh, that's a knot. And I tried to brush it, and it literally just pop. And I was actually going to show my boyfriend, and I forgot. So it's been sitting on my desk ever since. And I was like, just touching it. I was like, oh, is that a water ring for my cup? Nope, that's your hair, dumbass. Anyway, so I put my youngest in daycare. Switched schools for my oldest. Busted my ass. And then, like things always do, took a turn for the worse. And I was staying with one of my really close friends. And it just didn't work out anymore. And so then I was like, oh, guess where you're going? Guess where the fuck you're going? Straight to the bottom. What are you? Like, oh, I don't know, 27 years old, 2 kids, and separated from your husband? Do you know what sounds really good? Go move in with your parents. Right? I know. Oh, I know. Don't get me wrong. I love my parents more than anything. I like turned off again on my mirror. I don't like that. So, did that. Thank goodness that I did. Because a month after I did, my mother decided to break both of her freaking legs. Yeah, you heard that right. And maybe I'm exaggerating. Not for... I mean, that's fine. I'll just fill my brush with eyeshadow and then drop it on the floor. You guys like my vacuum? I was waiting for the perfect moment to give him a cameo. Hey. I'm sorry, I was looking at my double chin when I was doing that. Broke one of her legs and her other foot. I spit on my phone. Cool. Anyway, so thank goodness I was there because I helped out tremendously. My dad couldn't take off work, and she needed someone to be able to take care of her while she was laying in bed. So what was supposed to be a short-lived thing ended up being 2 years. Yeah. 2 years. As an adult, if you have children, if you don't have children, if you have animals who are your children, go back and live with your parents for 2 years. And tell me just how fun it was. I'm kind of kidding, kind of not. I love my parents more than anything. And they're great fucking parents. And I had an amazing childhood. But as an adult yourself, when you have kids of your own and you're trying to figure out who the fuck you are again, it's not the greatest thing in the world to have to live with your parents. But I did it. Dated a little, had a relationship. Very quickly learned in 8 months that I was starting out another empty vase syndrome. Not empty vase. Hold vase. Poked hold vase. Right? I'm like, oh, there's a little bit of a connection here. It looks like there might be a pattern, Heather. Either get your shit together, or you're going to spend the next 10 years of your life doing the same fucking thing that you just did. And is that what you want? Because it kind of seems like you're settling just so you're not alone. I know, right? I'm pretty tough on myself. I'm like, get your fucking shit together, dumbass. Listen, I'm kind of joking. Kind of not. Anyway, so 8 months. That's what it took me. And then I was like, okay, buddy. We're not doing this anymore. And like there's a fight or whatever, and he'll probably say it's my fault or I did it or I caused it. And it probably was, because I probably was like, get your fucking ass out of that. I don't care how you do it. Get yourself out of the situation. Cause a scene. Start a fight. Say you're not giving me what I need. Because it's true. Do whatever you need to do. But get yourself out of it. And so I did. So it was 8 months, and then I was like, okay, no more, bye-bye. Okay, thank you, next. I've literally never said that a day in my life. And I'm sure that you can tell by the way that it sounded, because doesn't sound like it should. Anyway, so I'm like, yeah, no, that's fine. I'm just gonna live the single life again for a while. Like, I don't need no man. I'm gonna focus on myself. By the way, in all of this whole process, I ended up losing 100 pounds. Actually, I take that back, 96 pounds. I lost 100 pounds. And so I'm like, you know what, girl, just do you. Just fucking get you some if you need it, but continue to focus on yourself. Continue to work on Heather, because you found her. And she's pretty fucking great. And I don't want you to lose her again. So don't. So that was in August of last year, 2018. Right? Yep. And in October, my aunt texted me one evening, to give you a timeline, one late afternoon, early evening, right? And she says, guess who's almost single? And I'm like, no way. I missed my opportunity. I missed it completely. Like, he's married. He is happy as far as I know. I got married. I had kids. Like, I completely missed my... Oh, okay. I'm like, my phone's telling me that maximum capacity has been reached and recording will be started in a new file. Anyway, so she says, no, God's honest truth, he's almost single. And I was like, oh, want it. Gotta have it. Give it to me. So I messaged him and I was like, hey, long time no see. And he was at this show or something, I don't know, with his brother. And messaged me back pretty quick. And was like, oh my god, like, long time no see. I'd love to catch up with you. Here's my number. Text me sometime, whatever. We ended up texting, I think, that night. Like, super late that night. Yeah. And then the next morning he texted me and was like, hey, what are you doing? You want to go get breakfast and be bad with me? And, well, so my dad got sick. He's in the hospital. So I had a bunch of stuff to do and running around and errands and hospital stuff. And I was like, well, how about a late dinner tonight? And I'm like, oh, by the way, you know how fucking lousy I am? And all this shit. I don't have a car right now. Right? And so he's like, oh, I'll come pick you up. Where do you live? And I'm like, BFE. And he's like, what the fuck is BFE? Do you guys know what BFE is? I'm sure somebody does. Bum. Fuck. Egypt. That's probably not PC. But that's where the people in the sticks live, right? BFE. Anyway, so he came pick me up. We went to dinner. Had a really lousy dinner. The food was awful. But had wonderful conversation for like 4 hours. And I kissed him. And we now refer to that as our catch-up day. And a week later, we went on our very first official date. And he asked me to be his girlfriend. And this man has been in my life for as long as I can remember. My aunt is his godmother. His mom and my aunt have been best friends for, I don't even know how long. It's funny when you do your makeup in a phone camera instead of like looking in the mirror, and then you look in the mirror and you're like, girl, your makeup's a little dark. Are you gonna wear this out in public? Probably not. But anyway, yeah, so I knew when I was 5 years old that I loved him. He made me laugh, and he tickled me, and I didn't know what it was, but I knew that there was something about him that I loved. And I said, I used to tell my cousins all the time, I'm gonna marry him one day. Like, he's the love of my life. He's 7 years older than me, and I'm fucking crazy, right? You're not gonna marry him, girl. Get over it. And then he got married, and I bawled my eyes out. Like, legit bawled my eyes out. Because I was like, great. Like, even though you're married and happy, and you have kids and whatever, he's getting married, which means that it's like final, right? Now there's no going back. Now there's no, well, maybe you can still hold out, right? It'll be fine. Maybe blah, blah, blah. Nope. He's getting married. So that night when she texted me, I was like, I am not missing another opportunity. Like, I'm gonna grab this one by the fuck balls. Hold on. We're going. No way. Sometimes it does that one eye. Get your shit together, Heather. Anyway, so we've been together since October 27th. And a month ago, your girl moved in. I was like, ex-wife who? This is my territory now. That sounds petty as fuck, girl. Get your shit together. I'm just kidding. I'm not like that. Who are you trying to fool? Yes, the fuck you are. I'm definitely not as petty as I used to be when I was younger. Ask my friends. I've grown up. But no, for real, I'm like, what I get mad about most is that somebody else didn't see how amazing this man is. Like, somebody else treated him like my ex treated me. And if you knew this man, you'd be like, whoever did that, like, I want to throat punch them. I have something in my mouth. And I don't know what it is. Which is scary. Because now I'm chewing it. Is it food? Is it a piece of tooth? Who knows? My boyfriend's going to be home soon. And he's probably going to laugh his ass off when he figures out that I'm doing this. Hi. Anyway, so we are really fucked up individuals that, you guys like my gray hair? That's what you're gonna look at for a second, because I have hooded eyelids, and if I don't do this, then I don't get my eyeliner where it's supposed to be. Thank you, Grandma. You know, we've both been through some shit, and I'm not saying that like that's an excuse. Like, everybody goes through shit, whatever. You know, everybody learns how to move on from it, or learn from your experiences, or whatever it is. And we do, and we are. It's still a learning process, and it's still You're never done. You know, if you're done learning or you're done growing, then you're just stagnant. You're sitting still, and what the fuck is the point then? But for the most part, we are extremely happy. I'm not speaking for him, but I can absolutely tell you that I am happier than I've ever been in my entire life. Because I get to love someone the way they're supposed to be loved. And I am loved the way I'm supposed to be loved. And harder than anyone's ever loved me. And he loves me the right way. And he's just one of those people that does things for the right reasons. You know? And he's a human, and so he fucks up and he makes mistakes. That's life. And I probably would judge him more if he didn't, if he was actually that perfect. Found it. So, it's still a learning process, but we're doing it together. And I'm happier than I've ever been. And my children absolutely adore him. And he loves them. And that's what's most important to me. He treats them as if they were his own. And he spoils them probably too much. But I'm not going to tell him that. So y'all keep your secrets. But yeah. So anyway, back to my original thought. I do this because it makes me happy. Because even if I'm in the worst mood and I don't feel like doing makeup, when I sit down and I start this process, I'm like, there you are. Like, there's that bad fucking bitch that I know, right? I'm just kidding, I'm not bad. I'm such a good girl. But I've wanted to do this for a really long time. And so I'm going to try and great. Anyway, so I thought I would try this out and see what my feedback is like. Feedback? I don't think that's the right word. But whatever. Yeah, it is. We're gonna go with that one. Yeah, so I'm gonna try this out and I'm gonna see how I feel about it, or if I get a response at all. Because I don't know. I don't know what my response is gonna be like. I don't know if anybody wants to listen to me talk for what seems like 2 hours, but I know it wasn't. So, I got it, don't worry. Apparently I can't put mascara on talk. Oh yeah, that's right, because your mouth does that weird thing. I'm not doing it though, so I'm proud. And I guess it was supposed to be like a makeup tutorial, but kind of sounded more like a little bloggy, little whiny, little pour my heart out. I don't know why I did that. That was creepy. Okay, well, that was my I can't talk while doing makeup look. I know. I'm awful. I'm not great at doing my makeup. I never said I was. But I like the way that I look when my makeup is done. And I'm doing it for me and no one else. Because I love me and I'm most important to me. Okay, well, if I don't post this, then it was fun, Heather. And if I do post this and somebody sees it, anybody at all, then I love you. I absolutely love you for watching my video. And my hope is that I'll do this more than once. Somebody will respond, somebody will like it, somebody will say it's awful, and hope that I never make a video again. And then I'll have to be like, where's my claws? Like, I gotta pull them out now because your bitch is gonna get catty. I'm totally kidding, I would never do that. But I guess we'll see. Okay, bye. Okay, bye.